All right, folks, welcome back to the series on creating an animatronic horror bear. In this episode, we are going to try and do the lower part of the mouth or the bottom jaw. Then we will try to see how much time we have left to maybe do some extra cleanup work on things. So first, let's go ahead and go to Workspace, General, and then Reset Current. Let's go ahead and do File, Set Project. Go find your Fred project. Then do File, Open Scene. If you haven't already done so, open number 13. Then let's do a Save Scene As. And we'll call this one number 14. All right, so now what we're going to do is, first thing I noticed is we didn't label our sphere that is our main head part. So I'm going to go ahead and just rename that. I'm going to call it head. Um, and then let's go ahead and try to work on this lower jaw. If we have time after that, we'll try to do some of the teeth maybe. We'll see. Because we also got some teeth to put on the top there. And so what I'm thinking is for this design, the jaw will be its own separate piece that'll have its rig. That way it can open and close. This will then be a child of the head so that if the head turns, the jaw will move with it. These top teeth will be attached to the top of the head. The bottom ones will be attached to the bottom jaw. All right, so let's go ahead and try to start with a cube. So I'm going to go ahead and create a cube. Let's just go ahead and call it while I'm thinking about it. Bottom jaw. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my move tool. I'm going to pull it up into view. And remember, we're using our front view as kind of our main keep it where we need it view. For depth purposes, we'll use the side view, but up and down, we're using this front view. All right, so now what I'm going to do, go ahead and scale this guy down. And I'm trying to decide how we're going to do this. I want to use a cube just because I think it'll be easier. Let's start. I think we'll start at the back jaw area, the back of the jaw. So like right around here. And it kind of just tucks up inside there and then comes out. And so what I'm going to do is bring it over here. All right. I've got them in both. And then in the front view, squeeze that a little bit. Make it about as wide as that. And then the side view, I want it to stick up in there. And I'm actually going to rotate it and just kind of have this piece tuck into there. And so then I'm going to scale it up to get it about as thick as that. All right, so I think that'll work. So then in perspective view, I'm going to go to face mode, select this one, going to do Control E, pull that thing down, use the rotate circle here to kind of rotate it into place, pull it up, and then I'm going to do that again, Control E, pull it down, and I actually need to pay attention to my front view some because it's not quite going where I want it, and I don't want it to get too crazy too fast. I'm just kind of shaping it to the jaw right now. All right, so I've got kind of that starting. But let's make sure we're doing the front as well. So I'm going to go to my lasso tool, go to vertex mode, and then sort of surround both of those. I think that one's actually good. So I'm going to go to these. And I think actually, you know what we may do? Let's just grab these. We're going to pull those in. Oh, no, don't grab that one back there. Let's start with this one, see if we need to move it. That one's fine. Let's grab this one. We'll pull that one inward to match there. Grab this one, pull that inward. Grab this one, pull it inward. I don't know if I'm liking that, but we're gonna look at it once we're ready. All right, let's see what that looks like in perspective. I mean, it should look a little better once we pull the front out. I may just not pull this one over as far. All right, and let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to select those and those. Let's go ahead and scale them. Oops. Scale them together, and then let's rotate them vertically. Get them as close to vertical as possible. All right, now it looks a little cleaner. Still not fully happy with that, but I think it'll work. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm gonna go back to face mode again. Grab that one. Do Control E again. Pull it down to about right here, I think. Would be good. And then I need to bring it over here. Okay. And then let's try another Control E. And with this one, I'm gonna actually rotate it. It's not quite going where I want it. I guess it is. So we'll rotate it, pull it over some. Yeah, I'm not liking that. I think we're gonna have to, well, we'll just have to move some vertices, I think. All right, so let's go ahead and go to vertex mode. Basically, we're just trying to make this make a nice little turn here. So I'm gonna pull it down where the jaw should be. Pull this one down. That one's kind of in the right spot, so I'm gonna grab this bottom one. Then I'm gonna grab all four of them. And in the front view, scale them together. Pull it over some to kind of put it in its own spot. And then I'm gonna start with these two. I'm gonna scale them in the front view, or side view, sorry. Not quite scaling them the way I want, vertically at least, to match up, so I'm gonna have to manually do it. Kind of pulling them, try to create the shape that I want. Do want it to be kind of straightened up by the time it gets to here so that when we do another extrude, we can just pull it right to this middle point and stop it there. All right, so now I'm going to do some cleanup work on it because I'm not happy about it. I'm going to go to edge mode, grab this edge, pull it down in the front view here. I'm going to grab that edge, bring it down in the front view. We got kind of that starting to shape. While I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go to face mode and get rid of this face because when I mirror it, I don't want that to be an issue. And it's not bad. I want to check something. Let's see what it looks like when it smooths. I mean, it's not bad. It'll work. So I just press number 3 to see what it looked like smooth. It actually isn't as bad as I'm thinking it is. The next thing I'm going to do, though, is because we need the bottom of the jaw, is I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop, put my edge loop there. And then I'm going to go to Object Mode real quick because I want to select the top of the head and I'm going to hide it. I'm going to go to now Face Mode here. Oops, not that one. I'm going to select this bottom row of faces after I put that edge loop there. And I'm going to try to do Control E to bring it out. Now it doesn't look great, so I'm going to grab my scale tool, scale it all the way across to flatten it out. Then need to bring it down. That's going to take getting vertices from all over the place. So let's start with these vertices here. They're actually, pull them over to the center real quick and just look. I think those are fine. I'm gonna grab the ones above them real quick. Pull those over. They need to go up some. Then we'll go to the next row, which needs a little work. I'll pull them over here first. Then I'm going to pull them kind of down to match the other one. So this back, this bottom one here, and try to line it up with the one in closer to us that it goes kind of straight across. Then I'm going to grab these, pull them over. They need to come down to kind of match up with that bundle. These need to come down too. Where are they at? Oh, did I line them up? I think I lined them up with the wrong ones. They line up with this set. So now I'm just kind of going through here and making it look pretty close to matching up across so that the bottom of his jaw will be level through it. Grab this bundle next. And I'll line it up there. We're going to do one last little cleanup of this area. All right, now this next one is going to be the fun one. I'm going to grab these, and the reason I didn't do this one is when I pull this thing over, it should line up right here. So what I'm going to do is go to face mode. I'm going to select this face and delete it, this face and delete it. Then I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to move those vertices. Oops, that's why you don't use perspective to move your stuff around. I try to line these up as close as possible so they don't shift too much. That's pretty good. So then I'm going to go to here and here, edit mesh, merge to center, and these two, edit mesh, merge to center. So now I've connected the jaw to, or the flat part to the front part that we just created. I'm gonna line those up a little better. And I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab all four of those and pull them down a hair. That way it makes it a little smoother in the bottom of that jaw. Now, because I'm gonna mirror it, I'm gonna go ahead and go to face mode, shift click all of these on this inside edge, hit delete, and let's go ahead and check it one more time. That's kind of what our jaw looks like. It doesn't look bad. All right, so I'm gonna select that again, put one again. All right, so now I'm gonna just do a little touch up on it, like get it to the right. I'm gonna go vertex, pull. I think I'm gonna try pulling all of these down to that spot. And then we're going to grab all of these now. I'm going to use the scale tool again and scale them flat with each other. All right, now we're going to go to object mode. We're going to go to mesh, mirror, click the little box, make sure it's got X, and we want it to combine, hit mirror. Now if we go to object mode, and let's press number 3. And that's kind of what the jaw looks like so far. All right, let's put that back. I'm going to turn back on the head mode. Let's just select both and press 3 and see what it looks like. Yeah, doesn't look bad. It'll work. So let's go ahead and put those back to number 1. I've got the jaw far enough up in there, I think. So I think we'll be okay there. This looks a little weird because of the side view, but I think we'll be able to make it work. If we have to, we'll shift some vertices in a little bit. All right, so now we've got all that labeled. Let's go ahead and think we're going to take his face. So I'm going to hide the bottom jaw real quick, take his face, and I'm going to, because this side has the indentation, this one doesn't. So let's go to face mode. We're going to select half of his face, hit delete, and I'm actually going to go back to object mode and hide his torso real quick. I want to be able to make sure that I cut this guy perfectly. Okay, he's good there. Let's hide his hat. Okay, so it's flat on each edge. All right, so let's go ahead and do edit mesh, or not edit mesh, mesh, mirror with merge. Okay, so we got that now. What else do we need up here? We're gonna go ahead and take this ear and we're gonna do mesh, mirror, but we want to turn off this combine. So if I hit mirror, it should give me two separate ones because we don't want them to be combined because then we can't control them separately. Same thing with his eyebrow. So I'm going to go to mesh, mirror, make sure combines off, mirror. Then we want to choose his eyeball and his eyelids, mesh, mirror, combines off, hit mirror. Turn back on his bottom jaw so I can see that. Okay, so turn back on his little top hat. All right, so now we gotta relabel some stuff. So we had our left ear. Well, now we need to rename this one to be right ear. Then we had our left eyebrow. We need to call this one right eyebrow. Then we have, which one's this? Oh, darn it, those combined. Those are separate. What's going on here? Why did those combine? All right, so that's not going to work. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to undo. I'm just going to do Control Z. It'll be easier. I'm going to have to relabel everything, but it's fine. For some reason, it did not like when I had all those selected at one time. So I'm undoing real quick till here. So now I'm just going to do each one of these separate. So I'm going to do mesh, mirror, combines off. So then I'm going to make mirror. There we go. Now they're separate. Then I'm going to do mesh, mirror, and they're separate. Then I'm going to do this one. So if you ran into that same issue, you may have to undo and do them with each one selected separately. Then I'm going to go turn back on my bottom jaw and my top hat. And let's rename these things. So we've got left ear. So this needs to be right ear. This will be right eyebrow. Right eyeball. Right top eyelid. And right bottom eyelid. Got the jaw, good to go. All right. So we got kind of a nice little face for our character. Let's see. Now let's just check the rest of his body real fast. I'm going to turn back on his torso. And so at this point, we've got almost a pretty solid design done. I may need to put something, I think I'm going to, just to hide this little connection here. I think I'm going to take his torso here. I'm going to hide his head real quick. Let's go ahead and grab his torso. And I'm going to go to face mode. Actually, I'll use this one right here. I think we'll try this interior set. So I'm going to select these. All right, and we're going to try to do Control E, pull that up a little bit, kind of just up into, actually, now that I'm looking at it, let's do Control Z. And I did it enough to make sure I started deselecting that so that I could make sure I got rid of that extrude that I just did. I'm going to do in this one. Now I'm going to do Control E, bring it up. And I think what I'll do is kind of like how it has it here. I'm just going to scale it in so that it kind of just tucks up inside there. But you know what? Let's bring it down to here. We'll have kind of a little shoulder design. Then I'm going to go up and pull it up. Not that far. Um, Scale it up to where it gets to the edge of this one. Then do Control E, pull it up. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my edge mode. And I'm going to go and do bevel. We'll do like, let's see what 4 and 0.5 looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Now if I turn back on his head, it'll at least be somewhat, if there are any open angles that we see, it'll look like it's connected on that piece. May even do, let's go face mode on this. Oh, nope, make sure you're on this one. I'm gonna grab all these. Actually, I'm gonna go vertex mode. Let's grab all these. Let's just flatten this guy out and pull it up. That way it doesn't look like it tucks into his shoulders too much. And it'll look better if it needs to pivot on top of there. So there we go. All right, so now it won't cut through his body when he's pivoting. I'm gonna try smoothing that. Okay, when I smooth it, it hides inside there, so I think we're okay. It pokes out a little bit up here. If we wanted, we could do if I wanted, I could hide this, go to vertex mode, turn on symmetry for X. Oh, but that's actually just selecting those. Never mind. We are gonna have to do it not like that. We're gonna select these and these. And we can just scale it in a little bit. That way, when we turn on the head again, they're kind of hidden in there. All right, so now we've got Freddy pretty much in a good spot. I'm going to go ahead and save now. So I'm going to do a file save. And in the final modeling video, what we will do, we will make his teeth. Then we will mirror everything over and probably make his bow tie. So I think we're going to try to finish up the modeling in the next video. So go ahead and do a file save, and we'll see you in the next video.